Hello and welcome to Fatboss Weekly Season 2, Episode 4.
Hello, and for the people who don't know, Fatboss Weekly is our weekly news show where we just talk about newsy shit that's newsy to us.
Yeah,
news.
Yeah, news, loads of news, and of course we're back for another week, easy mode, 4 weeks in a row. Not even going to talk about it because it's just, we got this now and it's easy. And some really good stuff has come out, Lawrence. A lot of stuff's happened this week. And the first off is the human female model. The new model for human females come out.
Yeah, that has been released.
She looks beautiful, Lawrence.
She does.
She looks much, much better.
I like how her eyes have got bigger.
Yeah, that has a bit.
Makes her slightly more normal looking.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, if you look at the old textures, you can see why they're doing it.
Yeah, they did need an update, but yeah, that looks awesome. It makes me even more excited for Warlords of Draenor. When they said, "Oh, we're making all the new character models again," I was like, "Oh, that's fantastic.
That's something.
That's gonna make the game good." But now I'm seeing them all, and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be so cool!"
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm kind of really looking forward.
It looks
to seeing
like
more.
100 times better.
Yeah, so awesome. Very good, Blizzard. We want more.
Now, moving away from that, the latest PTR build has some interesting stuff on it.
Yes, it has.
Last week, we talked about a mount that was shown on the Blizzard Facebook page, with it was like the Flying Ravenlord coming soon trademark. Well, it appears there's like a little pet version of it as well. This guy you see on screen now, he's just been found out, and as you can see, he looks very, very similar to the Flying Mount version.
Yeah, exactly.
Which may suggest that, well, I mean, it's been theorized at least that these two guys are going to be the Warlords of Draenor Digital Deluxe box.
Yeah, like the
Pets
for the
and
pet and the mount
Yeah.
that you get with it, which is pretty cool. When I first saw them, I didn't really see them as very Warlords of Draenor-y, but I guess like where you get the Ravenlord is in Outland, and you are returning to Outland, but before it was completely fucked up. So it does kind of make a bit of sense, I
Yeah.
suppose. But,
And what you got to remember is that it's been completely changed. Outland is going to look completely different. You're going back into a new time, and maybe there's going to be mobs that look very similar to this. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because you might even be. I thought that when I saw it, I was like, oh, because you know they're changing Arkadun. I don't know how to bloody say it, but they're changing. They're changing that whole area. So maybe if you go back in there, the Ravenlord's still in there, but he's like new and updated, and you got to kill him again, and you can get that version of the
Maybe.
mount. I assume it will be with the digital deluxe set that you
Yeah,
can
it
get.
looks like it.
So yeah, that's what should be coming out anyway.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I like the look of him. He's
He's
cool.
pretty sweet.
So a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the new PvP season coming out.
Potentially.
Yeah, well, well, it's official now. It is definitely coming out. There is information that's on the PTR about all the new gear and everything like that. You can find that pretty easily. The gear is 550 item level. So that is actually causing a couple of PvP changes, which we'll talk about in a moment. But this new gear will be dropping from the Celestials. There'll be no new world bosses to drop this new gear. They're just removing the old gear from the Celestials, the old PvP gear, and putting this new gear on them instead, which is pretty interesting. And because of this new item level of this gear, people are going to be doing so much more damage in PvP. They have increased the base resilience to 77%, and it was previously 72%.
So I guess that just makes it so you won't melt under all the 550 item level
Yeah,
gear.
I mean, a lot of people have been complaining and saying why it's already like too high or whatever, but with this new gear coming in, they kind of had to raise it, I think. I mean, I'm not too up to date with
Yeah, you're not
PvP
very
anyway.
savvy,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not PvP savvy at all. But yeah, it makes sense to me. And they're also going to be reducing the healing in Battlegrounds. It's now gone up to 65% from 55%.
Yeah.
So again, I assume that's everything to do with that, but yeah, I don't really understand it.
I have no idea what any of that means.
Another thing that's on the PTR is the level 90 boost.
Yes, they have got like a new tab on the character screen where you can go into the store there and you can start storing about and stuff like that. And there's a tab at the bottom called Test, and it's the level 90 boost, and it costs 1 XTS or some shit.
And when we tried it, it didn't work. But here's a couple of images of how it seems to work. Is that you pick whatever character you want. I think you need to make the character first. It has to be a level 1, and then you say, right, I want to boost him to 90. But if the character is above level 60 that you want to boost, it will also get boosted professions. If that means the current professions it has, or you have to choose the professions and to what level those professions actually get boosted to, I have no idea.
Yeah, it's a bit
unfortunately,
unclear.
we wasn't able to test that. But yeah, it's all a little bit unclear. But yeah, interesting nonetheless. So that's what's going to be happening when this PTR build does hit live. It does look like the level 90 boost is going to be coming with it, but we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, but potentially it might not be coming with it as well. They could be testing it in this PTR build and it won't be included in the next patch, which I assume it probably will. I think the level 90 boost will be available when you actually can
buy Warlords, yeah. But you never know. You might be able to buy Warlords very, very soon.
So maybe not. But moving away from all that, because people get angry when we talk about why level 90 boosts aren't a particularly good idea, we're going to move on to some very clever facts, Lawrence. Right? Do you know that 100 million players, that's twice as many people as living in South Korea, have played WoW? 100 million players. Also, 6 million words in-game text is in the game right now. That's equivalent to 12 copies of Lord of the Rings.
Where are you getting this
And there's 3.6 million pet battles a day.
What?
Pet battles are the shit, man. I love pet battles. All of this information was released by Blizzard in a new infographic that they released. I thought it was really quite nice. It's the first one they've ever done, and I think they did quite a good job of it.
I haven't seen this.
It's pretty good. It's got a bunch of facts on it, and it's quite interesting. Like saying how many auctions are done every day, and all that kind of stuff, and like comparing it to real life things. So I think it's really nice to have those little bits of facts and stuff like that. I'm surprised they haven't done it before, to be honest.
What's sort of the context of it? Is it like, we love you, here you go, here's some information, or you should come and play?
I think it's more of just, I don't know, really. It could be
Or is
both.
it just something fun?
Yeah, it's just a little bit of fun.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
And like at the end, like when they're talking about the quest text, they have like a little line for each expansion, like a little graph. And at the end, there's the Warlords of Draenor one, and it's like, and it says to be continued and all this sort of shit. So
okay,
it's like,
that's awesome.
It's kind of a bit of hype for Warlords of Draenor, I suppose, a little bit. It's kind of a bit of advertising as well, but I thought it was quite a neat way, and I think they should keep doing infographics. I personally really like infographics. I think they're quite a neat way of showing information and stuff. So keep it up. I think that's really quite cool. Now, moving on to the part of the show, we look at our mail.
You guys know how it works. Send in your mail to us on Facebook, Twitch, and on Twitter. You can find the links to them in the description. And to start off this week, we have a message from Nikolai, I'm guessing that's how you say your name, on Facebook, who says, I've noticed you had some Hearthstone stuff in your last Fatboss Weekly, so here I go. Do you think they will add the classes missing to Hearthstone, which is the Death Knight and the Monk? If so, how would you anticipate their hero powers, and also who would be the selected NPCs to represent the class? And then he goes on to say that Lord Walker Cho has already a card, so he couldn't be the hero, but he thinks the alcoholic panda from the Valley quest chain could be it, which is obviously, yeah, it is Chen
Storm Stout. He's a bit alcoholic, actually. All pandas are alcoholics.
And he also says that for Death Knight it could be Lich King, but he would prefer to have him as a card like Illidan. Regards. Okay,
well,
so what do we think?
Yeah, with the classes missing, the Blizzard devs have actually said that that they will probably be implemented, but they're not working on them just yet. At the moment, they're mainly focusing on getting the game to fucking work, which is quite important. It works most of the time, but of course, there's bugs all over the place.
Yeah, there's a few animation bugs and whatnot.
So yeah, of course, we do have to deal with that first. So they are going to eventually put them in. But yeah, I agree with Chen Storm Stout for the panda.
Yeah, I think that's a great choice.
Because he is very monkey, he is very panda.
But what would his hero power be?
Well, as a, I don't know, but he could throw kegs.
It could be just get drunk.
What? And just
every turn you just
out.
get more and more drunk, which increases your strength because you become more aggressive. I don't know. Every turn you get one. No, this is a brilliant idea. Every time you press it, you get 5 attack damage.
Right.
But there's a 1% chance you're going to hit with it because you're pissed out your head. and you have a high chance to miss. There you go, genius. That one's done.
Oh my god.
Okay, Death Knight. I think Lich King, like this guy says, I think it would be like a really good like class legendary card.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like to see him as the actual guy.
No.
As the actual hero. In all fairness, he is like the king of all like Death Knights. He is the Death Knight god sort of thing. But I think he'll be better as a class card. For the class legendary. In terms of actual, I'm not really sure about who would actually be the Death Knight class hero sort of thing, the hero. There's that guy who owns the Eben Blade. I guess he's quite Death Knight-y. I don't know his name. I'm not clever enough on lore to really know.
Yeah, I actually have no insight on this.
Yeah, so unfortunately we don't really know. But I think what would be really cool about the Death Knight hero power, of course they could be like summoning ghouls or I don't know.
Well, that's just copying the like paladin
exactly,
one, isn't it?
It's all a bit boring. But I think what would be cool is maybe a bit more interaction with how the cards, like their stats are working. So maybe for like 2 mana you could like add 1 attack on a card but take away 2 health or something.
Yeah,
maybe something like that.
That'd be pretty cool. Just to manipulate the health and the attack in one way or another.
You could only do that to your own cards though, because otherwise you could just kill 2 drops like really easily.
Yeah.
So that would be like mega bad. But you know what I mean. I think that would be quite a cool way of doing it. That sounds really overpowered
Or
though.
something with diseases maybe.
Maybe. There's loads of things that they could do.
Yeah.
So like maybe like a dot that he puts on them. That's quite warlocky. I don't know. It's all a bit complicated for me.
Yeah, I don't know how it'd work,
but yeah, I think it's going to be really quite interesting. There's loads to still be added to Hearthstone.
Yeah, and there was rumors of like a Naga set coming out, like as in Naga cards.
Yeah, which I think would be awesome as well. So it'd be like the next set of Murloc, which would be really cool. But they did also say that they were going to add expansions with between 100 and 200 cards in them when they come out,
which is pretty incredible.
That's quite a lot. I don't know how many cards are in the game now, but that sounds like there's going to be a massive increase in the amount of cards that are going to be there. So maybe the classes will come out with them at the same time. So there'll be expansion for Monk, and then there'll be expansion for Death Knight. Of course, that will all be free, and you have to unlock the cards and everything. But I think that'll be quite a cool way of doing it. So yeah, that's a really interesting idea, I suppose.
Yeah. Now Tyler on Facebook asks, so with reforging being taken out of the game, which is what is happening on Warlords of Draenor, what is going to happen to the 108k Grand Expedition yak?
Nothing. You're going to have to cry in a corner for your bad purchase decision. Sorry. No.
I think what they'll probably do, I think, didn't they have this question? Someone asked this at BlizzCon or something? I can't remember what the reply was or if it was even asked. I think it was asked. But anyway, I'm pretty sure they'll just replace it with a transmog.
Yeah, it'll either
like
be like a transmog vendor or the upgrade vendor. You can do your item level upgrades, or maybe like void storage or your bank or like a mailbox or something. Maybe all of them in one, because then you pay so much for it.
Yeah, I mean the mailbox would be really handy actually.
Well, yeah, of course you can have the engineers and everything who have the mailbox, but like still you might not have an engineer in your raid or whatever, or you might want to get your mail while you're by yourself out questing or something. So I think that'll be quite cool. But we'll have to see, to be honest. I think it's quite funny that as soon as they announced it, I was just like, what is going to happen to that about? Because I don't.
Good question. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens.
Now the next one comes in from the Noble Hillian on Twitch, who says, I quit WoW towards the end of Cataclysm. Now I am returning and I want to start fresh on a new server and level to 90, as I have no interest in my old level 85s, and I want a fresh experience in the game. What would you recommend I do to be set up for Warlords of Draenor? Also, I find leveling to be quite boring without a group. Where would I go about finding players to level with?
So sort of a two-part question.
Yeah, so we'll tackle the first part. In terms of actually getting ready for Warlords of Draenor, getting like all the gear from the raids and everything will give you a small advantage at the beginning, because like I imagine that gear is going to be replaced by around like level 92 or 93.
Yeah, that gear will soon be replaced.
Exactly,
if it follows like anything like the other expansions. So.
But Garrosh of course does drop his heirlooms, which scale with you from level 90 to level 100. From you have to like he drops it from flex onwards. If you have a heroic heirloom, I imagine that's going to be pretty much best in slot all the way up to level 100, where it'll just be completely useless. So I think like getting those heirlooms would be a good idea for people to do.
Yeah, even if you just get one, because the first one that drops always goes to the spec that you designated it to by setting up your loot specifications. So even if you just get the one, that will help you. Even if it's just the flex one, it will still be really, really useful, because it means you don't need to change any gear as you level up. But you don't really need, like Alex says, you don't really need any heroic raiding gear or anything like that, because that will be soon replaced. In terms of other things really to get prepared, I mean, having professions would be useful, especially if you're someone who really wants to like farm gold. If you have like mining and herbalism the first few weeks of Warlords of Draenor, you'll make so much money. If all you do is mine and herb, you'll make so much fucking money. You can make enough just to last you the whole expansion. if you do it enough, yeah. Because things just sell for absolutely ridiculous amounts. The same with enchanting, really. You can make quite a lot of money off enchanting the first few weeks. But really, there's not really much you need to do to be set up for Warlords. I mean, if I was a new player who just come back, that's pretty much all I do. Get the heirloom, do my professions.
Get some gold ready in the bank.
I'd maybe get the legendary cloak, because that will help you level quite significantly, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Maybe only the first few levels, but the cloak is still really, really fucking nice. And it's a nice item level as well. I'm not sure what item level is going to be on the Warlords of Draenor, and obviously it's all being scaled down and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to see. Once the beta comes out, you'll probably be able to set up your plans and goals a little bit easier. But yeah, for now, professions and heirloom is more than what you need to be set up for Warlords.
Now, in terms of actually finding players to level with, I kind of do agree that leveling by yourself can be a little bit dull. But leveling by yourself normally, unless you're doing like recruit a friend, is actually the quickest way of leveling. If you're doing the questing route, because that way you get the majority of your experience by killing the mobs, and if you're in a group together, that mob experience is lower. And it can just be long, because say you got a pickup quest where you have to loot 10 bear asses and the quest item isn't shared or anything what you can pick up, it can take a really long time and there's not enough mobs or anything. So if you're doing the questing route, leveling by yourself is normally quicker, even though it is a bit dull. But if you're doing dungeon spamming, of course having like a little pre-made group and everything would be a lot faster.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I mean, once you do hit level 15, that's when you can start signing for dungeons, and if you do find players in there who you think are good, then you can keep going with them. But in terms of actually going out there and deliberately trying to find players to level with you, is going to be pretty difficult. The best way to do it is just by asking people who you previously played with, who maybe still play now from Cataclysm. That might be a good idea for you.
Or even your friends that you play with now, say you play other games and everything, you got friends there, maybe you want to like say, oh, I'm going to go play WoW for a bit, do you want to just come play along, see what you think, give them the starter edition, maybe even recruit them, so then you can level mega fast. So if you find leveling that dull, you can just pretty much skip it all.
Yeah.
So that's a way of doing it.
There's also websites like OpenRaid and OQ. They're more for like pre-made raiding, for all the level 90 content, but you might be able to find people who also want to level there. I've never actually been on those websites a lot. I was on OpenRaid a little. But yeah, you can go on those websites and maybe ask around, maybe even on the WoW forums, just ask around who wants to level with me.
Yeah.
You might find someone. So, but yeah, ultimately, not too sure about how to find players, but set up for Warlords of Draenor, get the heirloom.
Get some gold.
Get some gold, get your professions, and you'll be good as gold.
So good luck. So that's all we've got time for this week. If you do want to have your mail featured next week, then please do send it in on Facebook, Twitter, and on Twitch. And we'll see if you can get in next week's show. All those links are in the description below, so make sure you do send in your stuff, your art, and stuff like that. And of course, we will see you next week.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.